he would say, key of C, song would start, and you would not have any clue what he would be singing about, or even the style. It was just, you know, it was fantastic. And that's something that happened at every gig.
I'm gonna tell you about my baby. I wanna tell you about that woman of mine. That woman of mine, that woman of mine, that woman of mine. She put me out this morning. Yeah, she put me out this morning. Oh, she put me out this morning, Ellie Williams, yeah. You know why it is to get put out, and another man makes your woman shout. That's hurt so bad, yeah. That's why I'm knocking on wood.
Soul yodel. That's Larry's thing, man.
It's not like country yodeling, I guess, and I couldn't do it. But if you listen to any of his shows, or even some of the songs on the CD, it sounds kind of like a yodel, you know, where some people embellish and, you know, he actually has kind of a yodel to it. And over the years, it's been coined, the term has been coined, the Big Larry Soul Yodel. Nobody else that I know of does it. It's definitely a Big Larry trademark.
You got to have a certain amount of stamina to work in the music business, and he certainly has that, and he still has that.
When I first met Larry, and it was 97, he had just had, I think, multiple bypass surgeries from a heart attack. He was actually touring with, at that time, the Mellow Fellows, because it was he had just recorded with them, and they did the album Street Party, which was in honor of Big Twist. And they were touring across the country, and Larry had to stop because he had a major heart attack and nearly killed him. And that was kind of the start of all of his health problems. And he had just had surgery. He was still quite heavy at the time. He was probably 300 pounds when I met him in '97. And then just over the years, you know, he's dealt with diabetes, heart problems. He's had strokes. When we did the Studio A TV show for Channel 8, he had a stroke while we were filming that TV show.
I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when my love really begins to shine. I'm gonna take you, girl, and squeeze you. No, I'm gonna please you in the midnight hour.
That's Larry. Yeah, I mean, same thing, getting up there with Sunset Concerts with his old band. I mean, frail as could be, and you know. There's this guy hobbles up on a cane and just, you know, it's the same thing. Takes that crowd. And we got some crowd shots in there. Unbelievable. I mean, the crowd was just nuts. And that's not even his full power.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the band a great big round of applause. Give it a ticket for them. They put their hearts and soul in what they're doing. Sitting in the morning sun.
It really does take a lot of grit to fight off serious illness, you know. A lot of times people succumb to things that they might not necessarily, just because they just don't have the, you know, the desire to make it through it. Larry's got that.
Just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
He's on stage, he's on stage. I mean, health problems or not, I mean, any Joe Schmo walking down the street probably wouldn't know, if he's putting on a show, that he has major health problems he just think he's an older guy.
Big Larry treats every show, at least he has the last several that I had played with him, the last few that I'd seen, he treats it like it's his last show. And I think, you know, I think that's why all the performances are so good, because he really treats it like, you know, this might be the last one.
We did a lunch concert, maybe a year or two ago, and he just got out of the hospital. Just came right to the gig and played and sang his heart out. And we played extra because, you know, he told the audience he had cancer and was just going to give him the best show he could, and he did. The crowd was right there on top of us. I mean, they literally laid plywood on the ground for the stage and ran it on generators. And I mean, he just, you know, the kids, there was a lot of kids, Kentucky, you know, of all places, you know, you don't think of blues in Kentucky. And he took those kids and they just were just amazing.
You talk about your daddy, said strange about your mother. Lord.
Once he scolded me for playing tambourine during the song and just told me basically there was no tambourine in that song and to quit playing tambourine. So I quickly quit playing tambourine.
I remember once he was doing Dock of the Bay, I want to say, and Dave hit the intro, boom, 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 and Larry came out on stage in his suit, man, natty, had the stripe up the pin, and he tripped on something, a wet spot or something, and he went down, bam, and he jumped right back up, and he made it look like a on-purpose soul fall, you know, excuse me, like a Jackie Wilson soul fall, you know. Didn't miss a lick, man. And I'm telling everybody, went nuts.
Playing in Ottawa, Illinois, outside in a beer garden, packed, I mean just packed full of people. And we're playing. That's when he told me not to play tambourine. But he also told me to count everyone in the audience because we were getting the door. And I said, well, Larry, why? He goes, see that guy? He just put the money in his pocket at the gate. I go, that's the owner of the bar, Larry. We can't question him. He's, you know, I don't care. I want a head count, you know? I'm like, playing guitar, harmonica, tambourine, and he wants a head count. Okay, Larry, I'll get you a head count, you know? And it's like, and then we go to the next town and it'll be another story. You know, Larry do something else pretty silly.
You have to know what the Big Larry, you know, look of death is when you're playing. You know, there's been a few occasions where I've played the horn part on my saxophone and he didn't like it, and he'll be like, you know, or I'll play a bum note, or you know, he says something and I thought he said key of G when it was the key of E, and I start playing in the wrong key, and you know, he gives you that look of death, and it's kind of scary sometimes. But you know, in hindsight, it's kind of funny.
This drummer, when we were playing a spring thing, he wasn't hitting it, you know, and like I said, he got the death stare from Big Larry and everything else, and you know, he just didn't hit it, and I guess Larry got really aggravated with it. He saw that another drummer that he knew well, who could hold down a gig, was out in the audience, so he let this one go, fired him right there in the middle of the gig, and then, you know, he brought the other drummer up, and, you know, he finished the set. So it was interesting, but man, you never want to be in that situation because you probably never work with him again, you know. So I'm just fortunate that, you know, I never got that stare.
I mean, that's it.
Big Larry Williams, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Baby, yeah. Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Don't you wanna go now, baby? Back to my same old place right now, sweet home, Chicago. Oh yeah.
When you think of how few rhythm and blues greats are left, I mean, dude, let's face it, they're falling like flies. Isaac Hayes passed away, way too young. You know, and guys that have really lived it like Larry are few and far between nowadays.
I don't need to say nothing about me because I've been up here before. I'm the same old ragged ass dude you seen a while ago. I'm Larry Williams, Big Twister's older brother, ladies and gentlemen.